It's off exit 10, presented by Capital District Sport and Fitness.
Just taking someone's drink, whether it's a pre-workout, a water, a Celsius, and just placing it somewhere where they're really not expecting it to be.
Yeah.
And then watching them.
And just watching them wander around like a lost cat.
That's been me a few times.
Yep.
It's not just Rob that does it, though.
See, my best gym prank was when, I've told you this before, Paul, when I was in Boston, I had a coworker who went on vacation, and we had like limited parking spots in front of the gym. And he flew to North Carolina, and he left his car.
Yeah.
He left his old Ford Explorer in front of the gym. And there's 6 parking spots. So we bought a for sale sign, and it's high traffic area, and we put it on the front of the car, and put $800 your best offer.
Best offer
with his real cell phone number.
Oh, phenomenal!
It's so good.
Phenomenal.
And we get a call 2 hours later, what? Just confused. What'd you guys do?
It's so great.
That is literally one of the best pranks that I've heard. You're just how many calls do you think he got?
At least, I don't know.
Did he have to change the number?
Well, at the end of the day, he maybe could have made a few bucks.
Yeah, right. You might have been helping him out.
Yeah, the car wasn't great. $800 was a nice price. Yeah,
$800 was asking a lot.
Yeah, he should have done it. That's his mistake.
I love seeing his face when he got how about $700 cash right now, just randomly. What are you talking about?
$700
Yeah,
cash
he
for
sure
what?
sounds great.
Yeah, he wasn't making that much money working anyway, so he should have taken advantage of it.
Am I selling my body?
Sold his car.
What's going on?
Yeah, he should have. But yeah, I've seen you've hit Paul's water bottle before.
Yep. Between him and Ryan McCarroll, I don't know who hides it more.
Ugh.
I think that pulling a prank on somebody is great, but when you can share the prank with someone, get him in on it, hey, look at Paul walking around like an idiot. He walked by his water bottle 15 times. Just look at him. He's an idiot. Another set later, I'm like, he's still thirsty.
Then sometimes I just give up and I go in the office.
Go grab another one.
Go grab something else. Fuck this.
Take Mike's drink.
I need a Celsius. These guys got me fucked up.
That's fantastic. But guys, we have Rob Immel here on the first podcast. So Rob is one of the first members of CDSF. Has to be top 15 or 20. I mean, he was here when there was way less equipment and way less space and way less people. When I first met Rob, he said he was a professional dodgeball player, and I had, Rob, what are you talking about? And this guy's traveled overseas, played at MSG, is in the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that true?
That's true. All of it, yeah. I really feel weird now that you said I'm one of the first clients here at the gym, and I feel like I should immediately be in better shape than I am. He's been working out for 4 years, and look at him. Yeah, no, I came here specifically for dodgeball, really just kind of stay in shape and stay tuned up, and it's been great. And yeah, dodgeball has taken me all over the place. It's kind of funny to see. It's kind of awesome to see reactions of your guys' faces talking about dodgeball and pro dodgeball and at Madison Square Garden, Germany and England. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's I can't imagine life without dodgeball, really.
How'd you get into dodgeball?
Well, I think I found it like everybody else did. Old PE classes, gym classes. Everybody has a story about that crotchety old PE teacher just say, okay, guys, get after it, and you just get after it. There's some guys, that typical, try hard kid, I think I was, and then you kind of lose it, right? You go to college, and, remember dodgeball? But then you kind of share stories. I went to SUNY Cortland to become a PE teacher, and everyone talks about dodgeball and PE.
Yep. Yeah, they do.
But when you're learning to become a teacher, dodgeball really isn't high on the list of things to do, right? It's targeting, it's bullying, blah, blah, blah. But so I think that kind of forbidden fruit, so let's take over the field house at Cortland. Let's do some outlaw dodgeball.
Yeah.
Graduated, started taking over tennis courts and looking on chat groups and things like that. This was early 2000s, so it was find my friends. It wasn't like Facebook and Twitter and everything else right now. So just looking up any opportunity to play dodgeball. Went out to Las Vegas in 2005, tried out for a pro team, made it, and got an incredible network. And ever since then, just been playing wherever I could, whenever I could.
That's fucking awesome.
That is great. When did you first realize like this could take me somewhere? Like I could travel, I could enjoy parts of life that I normally wouldn't be able to.
You have these pipe dreams, right? Like I remember I've always wanted to be a pro athlete. Like, hey, you got to do a career project. What do you want to be? Pro athlete. I remember literally 7th grade, we had to do a career project. What do you want to be? I'm going to play professional sports. Not sure what sport, but I'm going to be a pro. And I remember my teacher saying, well, you can do that, but you have to do an additional project as well, like a fallback. And I'm like, I have to do I have to do 2 projects for like my dream. So I was like, all right, I'll just be a gym teacher. It's like the next best thing. So I became both.
Yeah, there you go.
The dodgeball just grew. I think that people talk about it, they get excited, and little tournaments happen. And as social network grew, everybody's friendships kind of grew, and it kind of filtered out all over the nation, and more opportunities came. And yeah, it's just the rest is history, and hopefully not history. Hopefully there's still a future for me in dodgeball as well.
Are you still playing dodgeball right now?
I'm not currently playing. Still training for dodgeball, but with the pandemic and everything, time and space is tough to get. Right.
Absolutely.
Facilities, also people are kind of scared to come out. Kind of scared. Obviously, a sport like dodgeball, you're all over the place. But I still get messages and emails daily saying, when can we play? What are you doing? What are your thoughts? I was scheduled to play for a U.S. men's team at the World Cup 2020 in Cairo, Egypt. That got moved from July 2020 to December 2020, and then it's still up in the air. So still some hope, still some drive. I'm hoping to do one more World Cup in Egypt.
How long have you been doing dodgeball like professionally since you graduated from Cortland, or like?
Yeah, so I made a pro team in 2005, and ever since then I've been playing.
That's fucking...
Yeah, I did the first Dodgeball World Cup. It was held in Manchester, England, 2016.
That's dope.
And I was proud to be captain of the U.S. men's team, and again, captain of the U.S. men's team at Madison Square Garden in 2018.
Yeah, see, that was cool. I remember that. That was early on in, like, our relationship, because you probably started here in June, because we opened.
Yep.
Yeah, we opened early that month, and you were in by the end of the month. And then when was the MSG? July?
No, that was in August. And
in August.
Yeah, this place was essential because of my surgery on my elbow, my throwing arm.
Right.
And I remember, doctor saying like you need full Tommy John,
Mm-hmm.
like 2-year recovery, and I was like, well, I don't got 2 years.
See, that is so
that's
interesting, right? Because we open here, and obviously if you're here, we have a lot of baseball players, and like Tommy John rehabs, it's very commonplace now in baseball. If you pitch, it's like you're kind of on the path towards when am I going to get my Tommy John if your career is continuing. And yeah, our first Tommy John rehab in this building is this guy right here, dodgeball player.
Went in and just did it, and the fact that it was in Madison Square Garden and USA was kind of cool. It's funny, at the current World Cup, they announce when the next one's going to be and where it's going to be. So we're in England, and it's after the World Cup, and we're all partying with different countries. We're learning like country songs. We're doing weird stuff in the bathrooms with Austria, like passing this bowl of beer around. And like, think about it now during COVID times, it's just like, what the hell are we doing? But like, there's 30 people in the bathroom passing around this trophy bowl thing, singing this song. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Hey,
whatever works.
Wherever that bowl is.
Let's get a drink. And I'm just like, I remember sitting around going, what is happening? Oh, my turn. Like, all right. So they announced it was going to be Australia, New York, or Austria were the final 3, and everyone's cheering New York. And like in my mind, I'm going, no, like I've been to New York City.
Yeah,
right. Let's go to Australia. Like, I want to play dodgeball there. But the fact that it was here was cool. My family got to go watch and everything, and to have different countries come into New York, which is the melting pot, was really cool.
Well, and you got to play at the Mecca too.
Yeah,
you got to play MSG.
Yeah,
You got to play the Mecca.
It's pretty awesome. Get like an athlete, like badge, Madison Square Garden athlete.
That's
pretty
dope.
awesome.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, not many people can say that. All right, so you're playing. We're used to just gym class. You just smashing people, trying not to hit a girl in the face. Sometimes that happens. Like, how's this structured?
Well, it's the base of that. The foundation of what you just said literally is dodgeball, right? You want to annihilate whoever's on the other side of the line, however it may be. And it's a pretty testosterone war-like game. Like, it gets heated. You're trying to hurt somebody with a ball,
Right.
But like any sport, to be good and to progress in the sport, you have to have strategies. And that, there's players, there's positions, there's plays, there's certain things that you do. And if you don't do those things, because everybody says, "Oh, I used to be awesome at dodgeball."
Right.
If coach would have put me in, those stories. I remember I broke a window, like all this stuff. Or you have even baseball guys like, "I'm a pitcher. I threw 90." Great.
Great.
Come on. great.
Yeah,
Like,
or the gym.
I
like,
don't care.
I bench 2 plates. I fucking squat 500. It's like, come
What do
on,
you
bro.
bench?
I see you.
You first. Yeah. Yeah. So but those guys get eliminated early,
Right.
just so early because they don't have the base of the sport, right? Like I consider myself an athlete, but I couldn't hit a baseball. I'm not going to brag. Like, let's go. I'll take you over the wall.
Right.
But dodgeball doesn't have that reputation yet of a real sport.
Right.
So anybody thinks they can just do it, and it's become comical that I just sit back like, okay, show up.
Well, it has to be too, especially in today's times. You tell kids get so, I don't know, are they less prone to play now than you feel like they used to, or no?
How do you mean?
Like, kids get so set on, I'm a baseball player. When I'm 11 years old, I'm going to play in college, and I'm just going to do
Yeah.
Dude, just going to do baseball. Oh, play dodgeball? Oh, I can't because
my elbow.
Oh, I got practice later.
Right,
Or I
yeah.
got
You know, I think it goes globally, like the work ethic and the grit is kind of lower. Right.
Yep.
And also too that you talk about single sport athletes. That's the pandemic we're living in.
Yeah.
Is that right? This COVID stuff will get over, but like single sport athletics, and I call them single sport parents. Like the kids might want to play multiple things, but the parents are like, nope. Instead of playing for free for a school, right? Maybe you're a soccer player. Instead of playing basketball for free, we're gonna pay tons of money for you to play this one sport all year round. And not only do I see more kids doing single sport, I see them stopping that single sport really quickly.
Right.
You know, these kids are, these parents are picking out colleges 7th, 8th, 9th grade. By
It's
11th
scary.
grade, they're done.
It's scary.
They're done.
It's the industry as itself in terms of just how much of a money machine it is now, and it's scary because that's the industry that we're in, right? And we try to really do good by the kids and not get involved in that, and we're just here to help you and make you a better person and enjoy and have a good relationship with working out, and your sport will come. You'll get better at your sport secondary to that.
Right.
Like I don't see a kid and see that kid as a college scholarship or as the best kid on his team. Like it's just somebody who you want to live a happy life and learn to work out
and better themselves.
better themselves.
And
That's
like,
it.
When I sit here and I got kids, especially right now, we got a lot of seniors right now that are talking to us about college, and I'm sitting here and I'm telling them, I'm like, your sport's important, but who are you when you step off that field? Do you like the college that you're at when you step off that field? Like, God forbid an injury happens, or you, like you said, how many kids have you seen get burnt out from the sport because they're just done? Like, if you get burnt out, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to be happy at that school? So it's like, there's so many things that go into it, and like I try to steer away from talking to them about the sport because they're getting so much pressure outside of here from it. So it's like, I want to talk to you about like, what do you want out of life besides the sport? Especially like kids that are going to play D3, like football, like, chance of you making it to the NFL is very slim, but if you want to go play football, go play.
Right.
But make sure you're at a school that you want to be at and that you're going to have fun at. And that's like a big thing I feel like that a lot of these kids are struggling with when they get to that junior, senior year of trying to figure out where to go to school, what they want to do for college. And it's like, well, your sport matters, but what do you want to do if the sport?
Another
you don't love
page
it?
that we didn't deal with, I definitely did deal with, is that, that status thing, right? Like some kids would feel like they want to say they play D1 just to be on a team, as opposed to playing D2 or 3 where they're a boss and a baller. And they're on the programs and they're on the website and they're doing well, or they just go D1 to say they're D1 and just sit the bench.
But why has that changed? I feel like that wasn't always the case.
I don't know. I think because people care about what's on their Facebook status
Yeah.
and who they are. They'd rather wear the badge than really be on the field and grueling.
Like, we both went to Cortland. Like, I went to Cortland, obviously, after you.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Would have been dumb. Would have been fucking awesome if you were there because dodgeball. Like, we didn't play fucking dodgeball when I was there. Where the fuck was I?
You didn't drink any bowls of beer in the
No,
bathroom?
definitely. I can't say that I didn't. Might not have been a bowl of beer.
He said
but
bowls of beer, not bowls and beer.
Touche. But yeah, like how many kids? Like, how good was Cortland's baseball team when you were there, or just their sports in general?
Well,
Like, I when I was there, Cortland, like lacrosse, boys and girls, soccer, and baseball all made the Final Four multiple times. And
that
there
was just
multiple
starting when I
championships.
left.
So it's like, when I talk to kids about it, and like obviously I'm slightly biased towards Cortland, but like you're also gonna get. I try to explain to the kids, I'm like, yeah, you may want to have that D1 college experience of going to football games and things like that. I'm like, you go to a school like Cortland or any other D3 school that's like that, that's very sports oriented, you're gonna get that experience, but then you're also gonna, like you said, you're gonna be a stud on that
Right.
team, and you're gonna play.
Right.
You're not gonna sit the bench and like sit there and wonder like, do I want to keep playing? Do I want to do this? And then you have to keep playing because they gave you money. And now if you're getting money from them and then you stop playing, you lose that money. So now it's like, where do I go from here?
And also, too, I think, D2, D3 school, the umbrella of that athlete family is bigger, right? You go to a D1 school and you're a soccer player or a baseball player, that's it. That's who you hang out with.
Right.
I was recently in Cortland for the lacrosse tournament, and we just drove by a soccer game that was going out the stadium, and you see, like, the crew team there supporting. You see the girls' soccer team there. Like, it's not just boys soccer. It's just Cortland sports. Or it's, just like anything, like a high school, right? Like, look at Burnt Hills versus Shenandoah. Mm-hmm. Like, Burnt Hills is a smaller school, but athletically, they're phenomenal.
Right. But you know what's sad, too, is that you say you lose out on this experience when you go to college, or even just broadening your social circle and meeting kids from other teams and doing different things. I mean, that's getting pushed way back when you have kids playing on these, it's disgusting to say, but a fucking elite 11U team, for whatever that means. Now you're getting pushed into less experiences, less social interaction with different people, doing less, a smaller variety of movements at an age where you're not even hitting puberty yet.
Right.
It's scary. And, we keep throwing this term out, athletes and athletics, but, like, you take a soccer player on a soccer field. I don't know why I keep going back to soccer. It's like my least favorite sport.
Yeah, why?
Put that on record. But they can play soccer phenomenally, agility-wise, up and down the field. Their endurance, their speed is great. You tell them to hit a ball or shoot a ball into a hoop or hit a ball with a hockey stick or anything. Like, it's different. That's not an athlete to me. If you're awesome on the lacrosse field, but you can't hit a softball, you're not an athlete.
Yeah.
And we're definitely losing that.
I think there becomes an age where you have to specialize in one set of skills if you want to continue a career, but that should be very later on in life. That should be once you get to college is when that needs to happen, not when you're 11, 12, freshman, sophomore, junior in high school.
Not even a senior in high school. Like, I mean, maybe a senior in high school. Like,
maybe if you're that small percentage. A good friend of mine was on the 2006 Olympic or U.S. men's lacrosse team, and there's 20 guys on that team. 19 out of 20 played 3 different sports through high school.
Well, and that's what,
like, and the other one played 2 out of 3.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I talk to a lot of the kids here. I'm like, almost all the top athletes that you think of, whether it's LeBron James or, you can look at Kyler Murray. He was drafted for 2 sports in the first round. Like, all the top athletes that you think about, they played at least 2 sports, if not 3. Like, the only reason LeBron stopped playing football was because everybody was like, hey, dude, you're 6'8", you're going to go to the NBA.
That's a different example.
But that's a completely different example. Right, like, that's top tier. So most kids should be trying to go, let's go play as many sports as I can, 3 sports, 2 sports, whatever. Like, you played 2 sports, right? Mm-hmm. And you played 3 up until freshman year.
And I regret, if you talk about my regrets in high school, other than, like, being too shy and being a dick to people, is not playing football. I stopped after 8th grade, and I regret it. So I wish I played 3, but I played 2.
And, like, for us, I mean, Mike and I both can relate. Like, yeah, we may not have played a lot on the basketball team, but the benefit we got out of it was good. Like, it helped me with conditioning and other stuff for my other sports. And, like, I had fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people I was with. Were we great? We were not great. But, like, in the grand scheme of things, being, like you brought back, it's a free sport. I don't have to pay anything to play this. It's not a burden on, like, my parents or anything. Right. Not that I thought about that at that age.
Play.
But, like, I just wanted to play. Like, and, like, I was almost a 4-sport athlete in high school because the volleyball team wanted to play, and my mom literally goes to me, she's like, that's not fair to the other kids because you don't have to go to all the practice. I'm like, but they want me to play. Mom, they want me. And I was like, I'm not giving up basketball for it. So should I have? Maybe.
And I'm sure you see guys and girls in here that are late bloomers.
Oh,
right?
All
like,
the time.
You have someone just totally focused on one sport who could potentially be phenomenal in a different sport. Tim Cox, he went to Schenectady, played lacrosse at Albany, Final Four guy, ended up playing pro lacrosse. He picked up a lacrosse stick in 7th grade.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Think about your 7th graders. Maybe in here, maybe they're still so focused on one sport.
Right.
It's crazy.
And that's what's sad because, okay, let's say you get cut from that sport. You're so discouraged now. You have no other outlets to play. You've been conditioned to think this is the way to do it. It's sad. It's like ego of parents and coaches.
Parents.
Parents. It's fucking sad. Well, it's sad when you see it with kids.
And I mean, not that parents don't bring their kids to everything and whatnot, because I'm sure that they do. But it's like, is there a certain extent that they don't want to, like, branch out and have to, like, take them to 9 different things?
No, I think it's more of what are your true incentives.
Yeah.
Like what is your motivation for doing this with your kid? Is it for them to have good experiences and be happy and be active and have fun, or is it to get a scholarship one day, to make this elite team, to say that you're a part of this.
The last one was a big one. It's Facebook status. It's status. Like
Status is a big thing.
Oh, my kid's on the gold team. I mean, he sucks. He doesn't play.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what else?
Just so you can say that
He's on the team.
you're on that team.
Yeah, you could tell fucking Ann next door that my kid's on this team, and that makes you feel good. It's sad.
It's sad
Yeah.
because again, it's about them instead of the kid. As it should be.
Right. You see that.
Yeah, I have kids saying, "Oh, I gotta play hoops. You play hoops. Oh, I hate the coach. You hate the coach. Who cares? He has the keys to the gym and the balls. Like,
Right.
who cares? What are
Yeah.
you talking about? I hate the coach.
I don't think I can ever think of a time growing up, and I've hated coaches. When I look back, it was my immaturity that made me hate that coach.
Sure, or maybe push you harder or whatever.
Something where we clashed, where if I was more mature, you would see past that. But yeah, nobody stopped playing because they didn't like a coach.
I mean, I can't sit here and say, like, I mean, at least from my experience with high school and stuff, there was never a coach that I feel like I hated. There was coaches I felt like that weren't as good of a coach, but, like, I've talked about this. Like, there's coaches that I had that I felt like were great guys and great people, but they just weren't the best coaches in the world. But then I had people that were great coaches, and maybe in my adult life I've noticed certain things that I'm like, it's a little questionable.
Right.
But they taught me a lot when it came to life and things like that, as far as within the sport that I was able to translate to other things in life. And then you have obviously the coaches that fit both modes. You know, like you look at them as you get older and you're like, this person's a great person and they're also a phenomenal coach and teacher. And I can sit here and say, like, I never really had a coach that I hated. There was coaches I disliked or I had disagreements, like you kind of said, like, or didn't see eye to eye with, but I never felt like I didn't want to play a sport because of that coach. Like, it was like, I played the sport because I loved the sport, because that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
Like, I didn't care that if you made me not like practice that day, oh well,
Right.
whatever.
You could hate him as your
I'm gonna go home
self, but now
I'm going to go
you're
home and I'm
like,
going to
okay.
continue to hit the baseball because I like hitting the baseball,
Right.
like not like because my parents or whoever wants me
That's
to do
not
it.
going to get any easier because coaches now aren't coaching anymore because it's so difficult with schools and parents. Like now you're just not dealing with athletic director. You're dealing with 20 different parents that feel like they have an outlet through social media and things like that.
Right.
So now, good officials, good coaches. Whew,
Let me ask you this: do you find that? I mean, at Ballston Spa, is it mostly teachers that are coaches, or is that it?
no, it's pretty split.
Do you feel like you find less people willing to kind of put themselves in the coaching position?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've
It's
noticed
hard to find coaches.
Like I've noticed even at like our school at Chatham, like with football, like in particular, like, you know, there's coaches that have stepped down because it was because of the parents. Like it had nothing to do with the kids or anything like that. It had to do with the fact that, you know, they got parents, you know, talking about who should be on the field, who shouldn't be on the field, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that's not what it's about.
We had a great football coach who was an in-district teacher that was phenomenal. Who, when we hired him, when he got hired, I thought he'd be the guy. He'd be the face of Ballston Spa football. But it just got to be too much. Parents having a voice and this and that, and administration listening to parents over coaches. Now he's an assistant at Burn Hills, right down the road, and he's happy.
Yeah, like
Lost him.
I mean, and that's the thing that I feel like is happening. Like you said, like you're losing quality coaches because of the fact that you got all this pressure coming from not the school, like everything else. Like it's not the school that's putting on the pressure; it's everything else on the outside, whether it's parents or kids or whatever it is. Like you got all this other stuff.
And
that's
honestly, if
taking
you're a
effect.
teacher and you can get fired from fucking up on the field, why take that risk?
Why put yourself in that situation?
For $2,000, for $1,500,
For sure.
for $5.
For sure.
You know?
Like,
On the other side of the coin, it's like kids do have a better emotional IQ than they used to, I feel. Do you agree? I'm sure there's still immaturities, but in terms of just, okay, say you're an old school coach and you're just talking bullshit and down to somebody.
well, I think they have more with itness in that they have not experience, but they have education of different types of coaches, whether it be through movies or clips or, you know, they saw a video of some dude losing his mind or watching Bobby Knight stuff where, you know, when we just knew what our school was, right?
Right,
We
yeah.
knew those two colors, that coach, this is going to be our next coach, and that's it.
Right.
So kids now, they are smarter. They don't act it, but they do get it. There's certain different styles and things like that. They can react and perform.
Well, and that's like something too that, like, in your time as a teacher, I'm sure you've noticed too, like the change in how accessible everything is. Because you were talking about like status. It's like it's not only status, but it's like comparing themselves to the person in California. That
Yeah.
like we never had access to that. It was like, all right, like I'm comparing myself to me and all the kids that I'm playing against.
Yeah, you're
Like,
constantly seeing everybody else, whether it's they're posting them training. And listen, you're only posting your good shit.
Right.
Only your best angles,
Right.
only your best shots, only your best lifts. Like, you're not posting any of the struggles. So yeah, people think that like this is how I should feel, and everybody has insecurities, and that's going to hamper your mood and yeah, you see it a lot. It's just comparing yourself to others. And
And
we
it's
didn't have
out
that.
there. Like there's middle school showcases now. Like that's so wild. Middle school show for what?
For what?
What are you talking about? But they'll ask for highlight tapes and
It's
they'll ask for Instagram handles for middle schoolers.
For what?
What are you talking about?
It's for money. It's
I-
for money over the
you're-
kids.
yeah.
I got nieces and
100%.
nephews, and they aren't on social media till they're like a sophomore in high school. Like they don't have a middle school Instagram
that's okay.
reel.
And
I'm
that's
like,
okay.
thank you for
Right.
not being on social media.
Yeah,
I
what do
appreciate
you like with your kids in social media? On it? No, yes,
No.
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 Not
'Cause
allowed on your part, or they haven't asked.
They haven't asked, I think, because they know it's not allowed on my part. You know what I mean? Like that's
They're middle schoolers,
my,
right?
My kids aren't. I have 2 middle schoolers in elementary. They don't. Electronics really isn't a thing in the house. You know what I mean? Like everybody's on their phone all the time, but my kids have phones. They're just not. There's no. I don't know. It's different. It's different. My kids don't play video games. We're either together or they're doing something.
Is
Like
their mental health better because of that? If you look
I
look
think
around,
so. I look around their social friends, their networks. I also see like kids on their teams, like parents start to like deteriorate and there's arguments and they're asking me how do you get them off the Xbox? What's an Xbox? Like we have one. Like when there's snow on the ground, there's Madden going on. Like but that's it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it. And they don't. It's nice they don't crave it. They don't ask for it. Like I
Yeah.
said, they both have phones, but there's no apps on them. They're not looking and scrolling through. They want to watch a YouTube video of buzzer beaters. Like awesome, go
Right.
ahead.
Cool.
Like
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's by far the minority.
see, they don't know that. I think that's the issue. They don't are not the issue, but that's the
I mean, that's
resolution.
probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Right. It's a good thing that
Not,
they don't
not
know
that
that.
they're sheltered, right?
Right.
Like you met them. They're
Yeah.
Well,
No,
they don't. It's not normal to.
Right.
It's
Well-
also not normal to have your fucking belly button hanging out. You know what I mean?
That's
Like-
true. And I mean, I have 2 brothers that are like, one's a freshman and one's in 8th grade, I think. And like my one brother plays video games and whatnot, but like he also is very computer intuitive, but he's not on it all day.
Right.
Like he's
Well,
on it
the
at
world
night.
we live in, you have to know how to log in and troubleshoot stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a disservice if you don't know how to use
Exactly.
electronics.
So like for me, when I see them, they're always like same thing with you, always outside, whether it's playing sports, riding quads, riding go-kart, like whatever it is that they're doing, like they're always outside doing something whenever they can be. And it's like they're in the minority. And again, do they realize it? I don't think so.
I think that's a gift if
But
they
it's a
don't
gift.
realize that. People
Yeah.
ask me, how do you get them outside? I have a tough time getting them in.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think
Please go sit down. It's 100 degrees outside. Or the other day we went outside to play lacrosse. I was like, dude, it's 20 degrees.
If that.
And he's like, you scared? I'm like, okay, lace up, boy, let's go.
There we go. No, I think you're giving them a gift developmentally by withholding this longer. I mean, just think of kids now. They get notifications. They get this dopamine kick. They get their serotonin going off. They get so fucking happy and feel this joy from this, but it's all kind of fake
and quick.
right? And now they're so desensitized to all these videos and things they're seeing, and now out of real life, they're not getting the same response.
Right.
It can't be good.
Well, I think it's selfish for me too, a little bit, because I'm providing for them the life that I would want. Right? I was outside the whole time.
Right.
Like I mean, my parents couldn't afford shit.
Right.
So like, but I can give them like clinics and camps and equipment in the yard. Like we have awesome stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of living through them a little bit the way I want to live. But if I was more of a electronic type guy, maybe it would be the other way around. Maybe we would be playing video games together. So I
Right.
think it just kind of meshes and works and fits. But to each their own. But there has to be some sort of balance, and I'm not seeing
sure.
that.
Yeah,
No.
that's
I'm
the-
not seeing that at
That's
all.
the problem.
It's way too far on one end. When I think about my childhood, I think about being with my brother in the backyard and just ripping the fucking baseball hard as we can at
Beating
each
his
other.
ass.
Just trying. He's probably beat my ass sometimes. Just trying to field it clean and make. That's what I think of for practicing baseball.
Yeah,
I don't
I-
think about traveling to fucking Georgia. I was
No.
playing Pokemon sitting in my backyard.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
No.
Backyard.
backyard
Backyard
everything.
wiffle ball.
No
Backyard
matter what
with
your
the ball.
backyard looked like,
Right.
it was the best arena to play.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like-
the stadium that you wanted to go
Right.
to. Like
Yeah.
the
Best
amount of
arena
wiffle
to
ball
play
that
in.
I played growing up, like, oh my god, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, like
it was
here's-
just me and 2 friends playing wiffle
That's
ball.
it. Here's the difference. If I ask some kid tomorrow that comes in the gym, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday night? I got fucking piano lesson, and then I got baseball practice for school, and I got club practice, now I got hitting lesson, then I'm coming here. I'm like, just tell your mom to pick you back up and like go home and do your homework and eat dinner and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And for us, like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm gonna go in the backyard.
Right.
Like,
I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I'm going to throw the ball to myself.
yeah.
The amount of times I played catch by myself.
Well, how do you fix that? I don't know if it's fixable, but like maybe it's generational, because you're right. And listen, my kids are busy, but I see kids that I teach and coach that are the same way, but they beg for a snow day. Some kids will come up to me, oh, do you think practice will be canceled? I don't think so. Oh,
right.
What are you talking? You want practice to be canceled?
That's you talking about that, like, just thinking back with like I have nieces. I have a niece that plays sports, and obviously my brothers play sport too. And it's like, I feel like parents now allow kids too many times to choose whether or not they want to go to practice.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in youth sports. A lot
and
of youth sports.
it's like we didn't if I signed up for a sport and I had practice, I went no matter what.
We didn't go on vacation.
No.
Because like we were going to go anyways, but we didn't go on vacation because we had
that wasn't the
practice.
reason. We still didn't go.
We didn't get senior skip day because of practice in baseball.
That's
and
just
stuff
how it
like
was.
that. Like, just how it was.
Yeah, you made a commitment. It's like, it's good to be busy.
Like,
But it's
busy,
also
it's
important
different.
to instill commitment. You're part of the
Right.
team. I coach my kids youth lacrosse, 2nd grade and 6th grade, and he got a hangnail. What? Or like he sprained his ankle. Okay, well, we'll see him later. He's not going to come to practice. Well, he can still watch. You can still be part of the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the sideline, and guess what? When you're on the sideline watching your buddies play, it fucking sucks.
It sucks.
You're gonna get out there and play.
Right. Yeah.
But instead of that, like, I had a hard day.
I'll-
Instead of that, they leave them home.
Yeah.
Let's get some Mr. Beast burger. Let's
Yeah.
order that.
It's nice though.
It is nice. But that's positively reinforcing not being part of a team.
Right.
And that's just going to translate from youth sports into school sports and beyond.
Here's why I say, and somebody can challenge us, like, this is why when we have younger generations coming up and we're still operating this business, like, the chance of having a workhorse is going to come to compete to the table in the world after sports of work and business is way less than it was.
Unless it flips. It has to be generational.
How's it
Yeah.
going to, I mean, there's so much money in it, and Under Armour, Kempson, it's just like,
There's so much money in it, and there's so many different options for like them to do stuff. It's
but
like
it's social media that drives
social
it.
media is the biggest thing. It's like, and being able to compare yourself to somebody that's on the complete opposite side of the country that you never would have saw 20 years ago.
You talk about money. I went down and worked a clinic over Christmas break, lacrosse clinic in Delray Beach, Florida. And it's the first time in my career, I've been a teacher for 17 years, that I said, maybe I'll just do this. Like, maybe where education's at right now, maybe I'll just coach and teach kids who want to learn and want to get better, and their parents will write the fucking check.
Right. But here's what's hard though. Like, write the fucking check if as a coach your motivation and your incentive is good. You have genuinely want to help the kid get better. But when your motivation incentive is to say, well, I coach the summer team, and all 14 of the guys signed D1 scholarships.
Yeah,
If that's what you lead
And
with, I'm disgusted.
I'm just saying that's where the devil is in that. Even me, like, wholeheartedly educator, for the first time, I was like, maybe I'll just do this, jump on the bandwagon and just collect the check.
Right.
And
that-
teach kids who want to be taught and just appease the parents and just roll in the money, as opposed to dealing with 30 kids every hour that don't want to do shit.
Yeah, that's where we're fortunate.
So that's why it's going to be tough to get out of this, because the money
Yeah.
yeah.
and that status thing. Like, it's just, there's nobody you can have a conversation with. And there's people that start it like, well, I know he probably shouldn't be on this team, but it's really good for him to play up. Play up. Like, you're not fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you suck.
Right, you're saying you're playing up.
You're the best in Greenwich? Who cares? Sorry,
Yeah.
Greenwich. Go Witches.
Oh shit! But no, man, that's so true. It's just like, it's status, and you even see now, like, I'll scroll through Twitter and somebody will post, today I got an offer from this college. You got a fucking offer? Cool shit. Like,
Yeah.
Today I got a letter in the mail. I have a check for $30,000 waiting for me. Like, what? Like,
Cool. Great.
right? It's just like, people like to see the like button get hit on their posts. I like to feel that type of way, like to show off what they're doing, because that's just
And the difference is if you come to me and say, "Oh, I got this offer," and I'm like, "Okay, who cares? Who gives a fuck?" They can find 30 other people that will give them that response that they're looking for.
Right.
Whether it be face to face or even so, right? You can post the sky's purple, and someone will be like, "No, it's blue." Oh, don't be a hater. It is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Live your life.
Right.
What?
No, this guy's fucking blue.
Flat earther? Shut up, man.
Yeah, man, it's so true. But I don't know where it goes with youth sports, man. It's just like I feel good coming in here and having people like Paul and Dan and Connor and Sam and people like you in here to just set a good example, treat kids as the person that they are, and just make sure they're happy and, like I said, like excelling in life. That's not sports, because they leave here and go to their 12 other fucking practices. All they're hearing is sports and college and sports and pressure and starting.
I think it starts with keeping that positive communication and making it be okay to be like, just hang the cleats up for 3 months, 2 months, do something else, right? I don't care what it is.
And we've had that conversation with plenty of kids in here. Like, hey, you know, you've been going hard here, and this is bothering you. Your back's bothering you. This, that. Let's hang it up for, you know, the next 2 months.
Yeah,
just
but
work on getting stronger.
Then the fear kicks in.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna fall behind.
Yeah. And then Dad goes, "What do you mean you're not working? What do you mean? What do you mean you're not working? You're behind. What, you fucked?"
What?
Yeah.
No.
It's fucking tough, man. What are you drinking, Rob?
Listen to this sound.
You know what I say? Oh, that's fine. That's the sound of happiness.
That is the sound of happiness.
That is the sound of
There's
happiness.
multiple things
After
that
the
make
week.
that sound, and they all make me happy.
Yeah.
Celsius. What
Yeah.
do we got here? Unified.
This is Unified, beautiful, beautiful IPA. All the juicy things, phenomenal. Unified Beer Works, right in Malta,
Are you in character right now?
doing great things.
We'll get to character later. We'll get to character later. But no, man,
It's not Sunday.
there's so many great there's so many great places around here. I stopped by there yesterday for the first time, man. It was great.
And
Yeah,
I
they
looked
make
up their
good
stuff.
use.
Like the like their website and stuff is really, really good. Like you get their background and everything. Like they seem like awesome people. Like it's like the one person focuses on one thing and one person, it's a couple, and they focus on the other thing, and they focus on what they like, and then it comes together, and it seems to be working very well for them. And it was just really cool to just like read everything about them.
Yeah, and they're good at what they do, so that why not celebrate it?
Yeah.
And they're people like us, like we're talking about. They're hardworking people that are real.
Yeah.
And they're putting out a good product, and they're proud of that product, and they'll tell you, like, we don't use shit, we don't do shit. So like, if you're gonna complain about the price, like, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because we work hard for this, our name's on it, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And everything that they do or sponsor or a part of is top shelf stuff, because that's what they are.
Right. And that's what with anything, if you want to put your name behind it and whatever you're going to charge for it, like if it's a quality product and you're a quality person, like people will come get it. Like,
Right.
And they'll come pay for it.
And people are, they're quick to say, talking about price, like, I'm not paying for that, I can get this and that. Like, fine. But like having conversations with Jeff, the owner, and brewer there, it's like, I know how much a candy line costs, and I know how much money he pays for this and that. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm never going to complain about paying $8 for a beer ever again if it's good.
That's where
Yeah.
COVID changed me. I mean, in terms of just how I am as a consumer.
Yeah.
Like I do everything I can to only shop local. And like sometimes it's tough not to run to fucking Target, but it's like,
I mean, Target's dangerous.
It's a dangerous
I'm not
place.
running anywhere.
I said, yeah, I'm
That's true.
walking.
I'm definitely not
walking
running
in
anywhere.
there. But yeah, I'm just saying, supporting people post COVID, like small
I think
business.
it's important just to wear a shirt that says support local businesses.
Yeah. Like
Right.
that's even that there.
That's what we're talking
Just
about.
put it out there.
Yeah.
That's what-
Hashtag stimulate the 518.
That's what we're talking about, man.
No, but you're right. You see it, right? And sometimes you see the owner in there, and all these places, small shops you're talking about, and it makes a difference. Like you're putting money in their pockets,
Yeah.
right? Like you're paying their bills, you're keeping the lights on. It makes a difference.
Well, and like I just like you talked about with the COVID times, and like before you could actually go to restaurants. Like I don't know if people remember this. This was like a thing. We couldn't go to restaurants, So you had to order out, and like a lot of local businesses were struggling. And I remember I moved back up here from New York, and I was staying with my mom. Every Friday, we ordered out from a local place. Every single Friday, no matter what, we always ordered out from a local place, whether it was, a place in Chatham or somewhere that was in like up here in East Greenbush or whatever. Like we always tried to find a place that like was a local business or a small business that we could get food from and support them because we knew they needed it, and also tends to be way higher quality.
It's tasty as shit.
Tasty as fuck, So, but yeah, like
I think that stuff goes a long way.
Yeah.
Even though it's one family, one day a week.
right.
how many families are doing that how many days a week? And like I said, when you go in there and you see the hard work that goes in, and you know, being in this business, like it's tough to keep people. It's tough to, you know, have good help. So anything that you can do to help out local businesses, all in.
Well, and I think about our renovation. Like we were sitting here one day, me and you, I think we were standing over in the corner over there, and we looked over and we saw everybody working over here. And Mike's like, dude, it's all small businesses. There's like counting us, it was like 3 or 4 small businesses.
Other people working here, you said. Yeah, it happened no other way.
Like between people painting and building and destruction and whatever else we had to do in here, like it was all small businesses. There was nobody that was like, oh, let me call this big company that's going to take forever for them to do anything, and it's probably going to be shit anyway.
Did you say destruction?
Destruction. Well, it's like construction, but the opposite.
Like demolition, but like...
Yeah, we had to destruct the wall that was there.
Destruction sounds way better.
Destruction. does sound better. Sorry, I was hung up on that.
Well,
destruction.
Yeah, maybe this will hold you up to it.
Destruction.
Another sound of happiness.
But yeah, we had to, you know, demolish the wall. Whatever you want to say.
Just destruct it.
Whatever you want to say. That shit was impressive, though. I don't remember. Were you here when it was coming down?
I wasn't here, but I got pictures, and you said it was quick.
That was the best weekend to go to a wedding right there, by the way, for you.
I had so many weddings this year. If anybody's listening,
don't fucking
and they
invite me.
think like I'm on the list for their wedding next year, just fucking give it to somebody else.
I'll send you cash.
I'll send you cash. I'll Venmo you right now.
Mike's refrigerator is just one save the date.
Oh shit, I had like fucking 6
Dude, I
this
swear
year,
every weekend you were like, dude, I got a fucking wedding.
Well,
to
here's
go
what's
to.
tough. Here's what's tough with me with weddings. I don't fucking dance.
Bro,
Never.
why?
Have you met Mike?
But still, there's always an excuse.
There's nowhere between sober Mike and whiskey Mike.
I will say straight up, I love dancing. I will
That
make
surprises
sawdust
me 0
on the dance floor. I love dancing. I don't know if I'm good or bad. If I stop dancing, it's because I need my heart rate to drop below 200 because I'm working.
Let me tell you, I saw Mike. Mike and I went to one wedding together. Phenomenal time. We did have a great time. It was a great wedding. Saw Mike dance for one song.
Was it a slow
song.
dance?
It was Genuine. What's that song?
I don't remember, but I remember somebody pulled him out on the dance floor, and I looked over and I saw Mike, and I was like, "No way! Somebody got him out here."
Did you keep him in? Keep him
No,
inside?
he I don't even think he made it the full song.
Nah, I get tight, man. I get real tense.
But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, we had a great time.
I had a blast.
It was a great time. You know, one of the better weddings I've been to. So I mean, I cut a rug on the dance floor too, right?
Yeah,
you know, it's me
let's
too.
go. I'm dancing with everybody. Get out of the way or come on in.
Yeah.
Pelvic thrust for everybody.
I mean, I don't know about pelvic thrust for everybody.
Well,
I don't know if it's good dancing, but I'm moving like a motherfucker.
We'll post Rob's address. Send him the fucking invites.
I love food and dancing. Well,
pelvic thrust, yeah, and destruction.
Destruction.
Oh, we're gonna get hung up on that. That's all right. You know, hey, I like to use
It'll come
different
back.
words. I like to use big words. Okay.
No,
Just make them up.
destruction works. But what do you have, Paul? You have a Celsius?
That's definitely not a Celsius. It's definitely not. It's a Cutwater. You know, it's got a little tequila in there, a little margarita. You know, going on.
Does it work for you?
It does the job.
Those are good. Those are
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous. That's why I only brought 2.
Yeah. The White Russians are phenomenal.
The White Russians have the highest alcohol content.
Yeah, like 15%.
Yeah, like I mean, this is 12.5, so it's still.
It's like 8 pounds of sugar in each one, but you know what?
You know, whatever. Either way.
Helps the dancing.
Yeah. You know, it'll give me that energy. I need those carbs for the energy. You know.
But Mike, you're drinking local.
I'm drinking local. I got Yankee Distillery whiskey. See, I'm not a big beer guy. I've never been. Like when I first
big
started,
or a beer guy.
I'm not a big guy, and I'm not a beer guy. I'm not a truck guy. I'm not a fishing guy. I mean, I do my best.
Not a car guy.
I do my best with what I have, but no, I'm not a beer guy. When I first started drinking beer, my stomach would always feel terrible, and I'd be like, I'm just like new to drinking.
So
like, work
you
through
had
this.
that small bottle from Yankee Distillery.
Yeah.
Right here in Clifton Park.
Yeah.
There's a little bit left. How old is that bottle?
The bottle's probably a year on this bottle.
A year.
Yeah, go slow.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. So you're drinking aged.
I'm drinking
whiskey right now.
Drinking very aged whiskey right now.
You're drinking 2020 shit.
When was that bottled?
I don't know. It's delicious though.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I like beer. I'm not an IPA guy. Like, you gotta be a special kind of breed to be an IPA guy. Like,
Man.
I'm not gonna lie, you gotta be a special kind of breed. Not an IPA guy, but beer's good. You know, give me a nice pale ale, something like that. I'll get down with that.
Yeah, uncap it, uncork it, unscrew it. I don't have a problem, but I'll drink it.
I mean, you get enough in me. Whatever's in, you know, whatever's there, I'll drink.
So if
it.
you came to my house and I offered you a beer and an IPA,
if I came to your house and you offered me a beer and an IPA, I can't say no because I'm in your house. That's rude.
all right, I'm just
I'll drink it. I may not enjoy it, but I'll drink it. By the end, I'll enjoy it.
Give Paul strictly IPAs.
Make note.
There'd be no destruction though if you went to Rob's house, right?
Probably a lot of destruction.
Yeah, there might be.
You went pee?
Yes, I went pee.
Rob.
I had to drain it. You know.
You went pee.
I went pee longer than I thought I would.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
I
I actually impressed.
Like I was sounding like, wow. This
you
is
guys
bad.
You guys got weak bladders, so I'm gonna
Listen, guy over there with his like.
That's
you know,
true. You're
You only had 3
throwing
sips.
It was 3 sips. I went through a whole can already. I'm halfway through another one.
This is true, man.
Yeah.
How's the school year been? I mean, listen, you probably thought maybe you'd go into a more regular year. Or am I wrong?
I mean, this is my 17th year at this school district, and my 11th in the high school. Obviously, last year, which kind of blurs together, right? Saying last year, like I don't even what year we're in. It still feels like 2020, right? So, was a shit show. It was remote. I was home teaching for half the day. I was in school for half the day. Different grades would come for a week, and it was weird.
Because
so going into this year, go ahead.
You guys did it differently than all the other schools. Am I right in terms of how you alternated which kids were?
Yeah,
in?
uniquely, and started later in the year. So we were virtual till October. October hit. 9th and 10th graders would go to school for 4 days, and the next 4 days, 11, 12. And I teach both. So I would teach in the morning at home, and then afternoon at school. Next week, it'd be flip-flopped. Because they wanted less kids in the halls and classrooms spaced out and whatever, right? Because the guidelines were so clear. So he said sarcastically. So this year, I thought Band-Aid off, like, let's fucking go. Kind of like Paul talking about, restaurants are open, like, let's go. Like, let's go. Let me do my thing. Mm-hmm. I'm in the gates like a bull rider. Like, open the gate and let's go. I want to teach. I want kids to play. I want to see them active, right? They've been sedentary. They haven't seen their friends. So that didn't happen, right? Like, I had all these grand wishes of, like, I'll keep everybody safe and we'll space out. No. So outside it's cool because we didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So in the fall, we stayed out forever. We played disc golf. I got tons of disc golf stuff. Mm-hmm. So we introduced that unit to the high school for the first time, which was awesome. Kids were very receptive to it. They weren't very good, but it was fun. We're outside. Even it's cold. It's 40 degrees. We're still outside. I'd rather be outside freezing doing something than inside masked up, not really doing a lot. So, but this year's been tough, man. Like, any other year you ask me how school is, and I'm happy. I'm like stupid happy. People get mad. Like, oh, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Like, it's so much fun. Kids are playing. We're in a basketball unit or dodgeball unit or whatever we're doing. It's a blast. And I think that, like, it keeps me fun. It keeps me happy. Because going to work isn't going to work. It's just, listen, I don't even tie my shoes. I wear shorts. I wear probably a free T-shirt from a lacrosse tournament or game or Ballston Spa. And we have fun. But it's so different. The beast is so different. We're masked up. The kids can't change. So really, they can't really get after it, right?
Yeah.
You think about 9th and 10th grade boys PE. You're thinking like floor hockey, like competitive, like
I
let's
sweat
go.
my ass off doing PE, bro.
That's fun. Yes, go.
You gotta hope you don't.
I was a gym class hero. I don't give a fuck.
There's
Like,
nothing wrong with that.
That's
not
what I was.
That's a title.
What was
Yeah.
your earliest period gym class? Because you're fucked if you're early.
No, dude. Even when I had early gym class, it didn't fucking matter. Like, I mean, you're fucked if you can't change.
Right.
But
Even
like,
if you can change it,
you
you
still
got
are
first block. When you get up from second block, when the bell rings, you're like drying the swamp ass with your
listen,
thigh.
I mean, I got to the point, like, I don't know. I just never really gave a fuck. Like, it was just like, all right, dude, like, I fucking sweat. I was in gym class.
Yeah, we won 6-5 in floor hockey.
Like, I dropped fucking 5 of the 6 goals. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
So it's different. So we can't do a lot, but we can do some. We have to have masks on. But I think I'm a good teacher, right? Like, I'm not being arrogant. I'm old enough to realize
I'll be honest,
I know what I can do.
I would love you as my phys ed teacher.
It's because your intentions are good.
Pure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Pure.
and all kids, not just. I like teaching the non-athletes. I like because that
Well,
was
you're an
me.
educator.
I like teaching the kids that have not kids.
Right.
I connect with them, but with a mask on, teaching, mask on, learning. Like I think my positive attributes are my quick wit, my humor, my intense, whatever it is, like it's either up or down, and that's lost with masks. Like
Well, you don't have the facial expression.
I don't have relationships. Like kids don't know if I'm smiling. Like they can't hear me. I can't hear, and they're not being rude.
Right.
But I think that last year they figured everything out on their own. They sat behind a computer and they did the work. Here's what you have to do, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Bang, bang, bang. Get this done, and you have 100. Cool. Now I'll give direction, like very pure, and the kids aren't being rude. They're looking at me. It looks like they're taking it all in. All right, guys, go. And they look. What do we do? What do we do? So it's different. It's a different beast. So I'm kind of like I'm lost. I don't have any tools. I'm expected to build a mansion, right? And it's tough. It's a different kind of kid. And these kids now, they were a lot coddled a little bit. Like, oh, you're going through, you have to learn from home? Like, oh, you poor thing. Not, holy shit, you have to eat Pop-Tarts all day, watch Netflix in between classes and learn from your bed. It's like, oh, I feel so bad. You can't be with your friends.
Right.
So now these kids feel kind of entitled.
Yeah.
And there's no consequences.
Right.
And I get every day, why can't we just do that? Why can't we just... I don't care what you want to do. This is what we're doing.
Right. It's that, and I think coupled with not being in school all last year, I mean, you're developmentally going to be behind in terms of how you are socially interacting with other people, how you are interacting with adults, going about your day. It's tough.
Yeah, and interacting with adults. There's kids that I got an email last night from a kid, and it said, "We talked about this twice already. Can you please update my grade now?" So it will reflect my overall grade.
Well,
like the kid made up some classes. He missed school, made up some classes. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. But like I wanted to respond. Listen, you little shit. Like I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
I told you I'll get to it.
Right.
Like who the fuck do you think you are?
Right.
But I'm like I just saw this kid today. He didn't say a word. But he can get behind an email like everybody else and just pump out. Do
Twitter
it now.
Twitter fingers.
But also too, in my mind, I'm thinking. Well, I responded and then deleted that. But I'm thinking, shit, mom and dad are reading this. Like, this might come back to bite me. But this kid needs to learn. So I literally was just like, come talk to me.
Yeah.
I said, it'll be done when it gets done before your grades are due. Please understand you're one of 250 students.
Do you think it's different for you as a teacher who's a phys ed teacher and maybe kids don't take it as seriously than they would as in like a math class where like the teacher says this is what we're covering and that's what they're going to go over.
Right.
Whereas like you're like, hey, this is the unit we're doing. And then they're like, well, why can't we do this instead?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like it's different because you're in phys ed?
It's definitely different. I think losing a year and a half or 2 years, and who knows what the middle school did, right? Because they look a lot different. Their class sizes are ridiculous. So it's just it's just almost like a rec program. It's bad. It's bad. So they don't know what to expect. But you can teach any discipline online.
Right.
And I'm not trying to downgrade any other discipline. You can teach Spanish.
You teach Spanish
through
online.
video. You can just go
I
face
teach
to
myself
face.
Spanish on my phone.
But how am I going to teach you to run a route and to throw a football or to hit a hockey puck or anything without seeing you do it and giving the opportunity to do it? Right. I remember teaching ultimate frisbee and kids would send me videos of them throwing a paper plate. Fine, I get it. Like I get it, but it's an impossible subject to teach where others can kind of get by and they can still teach what they need to teach so kids can get good at the test. I think kids in physical education are physically illiterate.
Yes.
Because they're missing the opportunity that they have.
And
Do you see these two extremes? You have these kids who are just like way too much doing one sport, too much, and the kids who are not into sports is okay, but then they're physically inactive, which isn't okay and not healthy.
Right, but I think what you said right there, which isn't okay, but I think that they're made believe that it is okay.
Right.
It's okay if you don't know how to throw a ball. It's okay if you don't know how to kick a ball.
Right.
Like, sure, I'm not asking you to go to the MLS, but like, holy shit, you should know where your body is.
Right.
And guess what? In 10 years, when you finally figure it out, it's probably too late.
Yeah.
And you probably figure it out in 10 or 20 years because a doctor told you to.
Yeah.
Right.
That's scary shit.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, like I originally went to Cortland because I was going for phys ed. And I switched my major because in my head, I thought about all the shithead kids that were in my fucking gym class that didn't do shit. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So I was like, I want to go into a field where I can still teach people, but people that want to be taught. And I guess, it's a little selfish on my part, but like, obviously it's, I'm very happy with what I do and everything like that. And I still get to have an impact on kids' lives. But part of me thinks like, if I had gone that route, could I have had a different impact on the kids that aren't getting that don't want to do
Right.
it, that
Right.
don't want to, that or their parents don't preach it to them. Like, could I have done something there? So it's like, I'm very happy, obviously, with what I chose to do and whatnot. But like, in the same sense, it's like I could I have had a different impact, like if I had done that type of thing. So.
Yeah, and I think that I think of myself as a young teacher still, and I think that I hope that
You
I
are.
I become like, oh, you know what, I should do this, or he said this, or he said that. But these kids you hear, why do I have to do this? When am I going to use this? When the fuck is the last time you used SOHCAHTOA? Right? You sit in math class all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need half the shit you're going to get, but you got to do it.
Right.
But you're going to have to move for your entire life.
Exactly.
You're going to have to be able to get off the couch,
But
get
you
off the
said
shitter.
at some point, a doctor is going to tell you.
Right.
Right.
And
you know what? I'm sure that some point, instead of 50 and 60, is now being 40, 30.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
client I ever had in New York, I told them when I lived in New York City, it was like, a body in motion stays in motion. Like, that works for your body too. If you stop moving, your body's going to want to stop moving. And then you're going to become like, you're not going to have any sort of functional movement that you could have throughout your life that will benefit you when you are 50 or 60 years old.
But then you get the big percentage of kids that don't want to do PE class because, I got hockey tonight, or I got this. I'm good.
This is where it's tough.
Yeah,
You got.
it's
we
crazy.
never had that.
And
That's
I used to be able to rely on the athletes to kind of motivate the class, right? Hey, you.
That was us.
Let's demonstrate this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get everybody on board. But now everybody's even keel. Like, you can't have athletes, and the athletes are almost a negative to a class. Like, it's too easy. But that's not. Like, you can't hit 5 out of 10 free throws. Like, you're not an athlete.
Fucking softball unit, man. I was trying to hit bombs every single time. I was trying to take the fucking cover off the ball. Like, I was like, I can hit baseball. I'm hitting the
I
shit
do
out of the
softball
softball.
in May. It's my favorite unit.
Softball.
I throw in the big old sunflower seeds. I got my Mets hat on.
I was going to say I throw in a big old lip.
No. After school, yes.
Like, softball and flag football were my favorite. Because I love football. Like, you give me a football in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to be happy playing it. Like, doesn't matter what it is.
You
But-
destruct shit.
Yeah. I fucking destructed every single.
I'm no longer going to say like
Destruction.
demolition. Okay, so we got a project here. If you come in, we got some destruction and then build
We're-
a wall.
We're not constructing it. We're destructing
And
it.
you're like, you mean demolition? I'm like,
No, I mean destruction. I mean, you built this wall. I want you to destruct it now.
But gym class was the shit back in the day.
I loved it.
I love floor hockey.
Floor hockey was the
Floor
best.
hockey.
So
Yes.
we would, during baseball practice,
This was the best.
for conditioning, sometimes they'd let us play floor hockey, and like fucking intense, like more into like checking each other,
Go.
talking real shit. Like, great. That's where kids miss out too, is just playing in the backyard and getting in a fight with somebody and arguing and
Or a bus stop.
Dude,
and figuring it out between
Yeah.
yourselves without parent involvement.
Right. Go change your shirt and go to school.
Figure number of times you have a sleepover with fucking 10 of your boys in the 6th grade, and you're playing football, and your one friend is just being a fucking
Yep.
dick.
or your one friend, we say no
Line 'em up.
headshots in boxing, and they hit the other friend in the head,
Yeah, yeah.
and things happen.
Things
but you know,
They settle themselves out, but that's
Right.
important.
we were
But
still
that's-
friends afterwards.
That's important for life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Well, kids think they want to fight now, right? Like,
Right.
the kids show me a couple videos and stuff like that. Like, that's not a fight.
No.
Any kid that wants to fight in school doesn't want to fight.
No.
You remember Kimbo Slice videos? That's a fight.
that's a fight.
That's right.
That's a fight.
That was when we were in high school.
R.I.P.
You
R.I.P.
go to the
Kimbo.
library, you go on like the computer in the corner, and you're like, hey, shh, we can watch your Kimbo Slice videos right now.
Would you rather take a shot from Kimbo Slice in the gut or 3 minutes with Megan Fox?
What you gonna
Wait,
take?
what do you mean?
Well, like, you could either get punched by Kimbo Slice if he came down from the heavens,
Right?
and if you did,
Oh, then you
you
can.
get 3 minutes. Yeah, not would you rather? I guess.
That's what I was saying. I was like, wait a minute. Would
That's the toll.
I
That's
would
the cost.
100% take the 3 minutes with Megan Fox.
But you're saying the Kimbo Slice
Test
comes
my
first.
toughness.
So I have to take the Kimbo Slice punch to get the 3 minutes with Megan
Right.
Fox.
Sorry. Yes, that came
I
out
got
weird.
3
but yes.
minutes? 3 minutes?
I got excited. I talk about Megan Fox opportunities to get excited. I can't speak.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I mean, I might take the punch to the gut. I might do it.
I got a little frame. I'm a little guy. I don't think I'd live to get to there.
you could soak it up.
You think so? I don't dance. I wouldn't know. I don't know, man. I don't
Kimbo
know.
Slice videos were the best. That was like the start of
YouTube.
like viral shit.
video,
Like, do you
like-
hear about them? Or like telling my old man, like, check this out.
Dude,
Like,
Kimbo Slice was a different breed. Different breed. Like, I remember when he made it to finally made it to like UFC and whatnot, and then I watched him and I was like disappointed. I'm like, just go back to street fighting.
So bad, right?
Go back to YouTube. You'll make more money. Like, imagine if he was. How much money would that guy have made right now?
Oh, put him on TikTok. It's,
Oh my
I
God.
talk about it with
over.
Dodgeball circling back. Like, I'm 10 years beyond. Like, when I started, like, GoPro wasn't a thing.
No.
You know, I'm seeing a couple of my friends now, they have TikTok videos and Instagram videos that are going super viral from Dodgeball stuff. I'm like, that ain't nothing. But I didn't have the ability or the platform to put it out there.
Like when you did the world record, that's an easy viral thing. Like how long did you play for?
43 hours.
You did it twice.
Well,
43 hours?
Played for 24 hours, and I messed it up. Guinness didn't accept it.
Yeah, why? You told me this before.
So the world record didn't exist for the longest marathon playing Dodgeball. So I said, let's go. Let's fucking set a Guinness world record. That's
Why
awesome.
the fuck not?
Right? Like, that's kind of how I am. Like, Guinness is the best? Let's
Let's
get
do
it.
it.
Right.
So, all right, 24 hours. How are we going to do this? I got 5 knuckleheads, 3 dudes from Canada that want to do this. All right. So the National Dodgeball League was like, you can play under the pro name, but you have to play 6 people. And I was like, okay. He's like, well, we can't have, if there's 6 of you, because 6 people are on a dodgeball team, 6 of you and 6 other people, like, they can't beat you. It's not a good look if they're beating a pro after 20 hours. I'm like, you know what? That's brilliant. That's branding. So what we did is each team of 6 could play us 5 for 1 hour, and the team that beat us the most times in an hour wins $1,000.
Okay.
So, like, we're playing for 24 hours straight. So, like, smart teams are like,
How much caffeine was consumed?
we had a team from Boston. We're like, it was $100 an hour, and all the money went to Make-A-Wish. We want hours 23 and 24. I'm like, well, that's fucking brilliant because we're dead.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they're not stupid.
Dead. So they ended up winning $1,000, but it was pretty gnarly, and a lot of caffeine, a lot of peeing in Gatorade bottles. Sorry, it's disgusting, but that definitely
I
happened.
mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
So, and then just to be totally just demoralized, I was destructed. Guinness is like, no, that wasn't an official game of dodgeball. That wasn't 24 hours of games of dodgeball because a new team came in every time. So it's not a marathon. Like, your team did it, but it's not a record. I was like, well, that sucks. I lost all my toenails for nothing.
Got blisters on every part of my foot.
So
for
a
no
normal
reason.
person would be like, all right, well, I tried. That sucked. Nope. Hooked up with a couple of buddies from Albany Dodgeball. They started up with some stuff at the Armory in Albany. It was fun. And we ended up doing 31 hours, 11 minutes, and 13 seconds straight through. Same people, same teams, and crushed it. It was great. It was
That's
fun.
fucking
It was
sick.
real fun. Like, my daughter was like 2, and she was there. Like, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Some enemies made. Talk about that one kid in football you wanted to hit. Like,
Yep.
It was just fun. I actually had
Difference is you could throw a ball at him in dodgeball.
I paid strippers to come at one point to set up the dodgeballs at like 3 a.m. to just
Nice.
keep people involved, and just kind of, they walked in with American flag bikinis, big old American
You're
flags, and
supporting local business, right?
I mean, hey,
$1 at a time. Oh, I got out. Okay, come here. Well, just anything it would take to keep the guys and girls involved. So a group from Castleton College in Vermont broke that record. So I got wind they broke the record. I found some footage. They were like, it was like some fundraiser. They're like just throwing like these foam balls at each other. Technically, I guess it's dodgeball. They're on each
So what
other's
you're telling me is they were a
shoulders.
bunch of
Like,
pussies.
yes, 100%. So like, did I want to play another for 30 hours? No, absolutely not. So they played for 42 hours, beating our record by 11 hours, and I was pissed. Like,
I'd be pissed too.
I'm like, you know what? Like, we played hard.
I'd
Fuck
be
that.
pissed because the fact that they told you the other one didn't count.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were playing
and
real
that was-
fucking
It was the
dodgeball.
same people. It was like bullshit. Like, they're like sleeping on the court.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not fucking
It was
dodgeball.
just like the loopholes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you know what? So I talked to a couple people that did both the 24. Like, they were involved in it as well as the 31. I was like, we got to do this again. They're like, fuck yeah, let's go. All right. So I planned it, did it at the Sportsplex in Clifton Park. Rest in peace. It's not there anymore. And designed it for 43 hours. And it was fucking phenomenal. It sucked, but it was phenomenal. We had 2 teams of 9, 6 play at a time, so you can rotate out. You can sleep because there's 3 subs. Guinness allows you a 5-minute break for every hour that you play. So we would bank like a few hours, and we'd hang out for 20 minutes, just kind of like stretch. I didn't sleep because I know my body. Like, I know if I fell asleep, I'd be
Right.
just done. So I was up for 67 hours straight. It's like, of course, like the news hits it. They're like, hey, we want to do media at like 5 a.m. Like, we don't start till 2.
Right.
See you there. Like, I remember going, my friend Toshiya Yoshida from Tokyo came and he flew out for the record. And I brought him, like, I went to the media with him and like I brought him to school for half the day. Like my little buddy, like, come here, man. But yeah, we ended up doing it. And honestly, like the game ended. One game ended like 42 hours and 17 seconds, and or 42 hours 17 minutes. And my wife like knocked on the glass, and there's tons of people there, and like we all kind of came and took a 5-minute break that we earned, and it was super emotional. Like you do something like that, and you kind of take your body to like a different level, and obviously you don't sleep. Like I broke down. Like I was like so proud of you fucking guys. Like you fucking did it.
42 hours is a long fucking time.
So then we played for another 43 minutes to get 43, and it was pretty awesome. But like I think one of the greatest pictures that were ever taken of me playing dodgeball was at like the 42-minute mark. I'm just like leaping through the air. And I remember this guy from New York Times took the picture, and I was like, how did I do that? But people are there, and you're like adrenaline's just fueling you. Mm-hmm. But it was pretty cool. It was great. I remember one of my best friends brought a bunch of PBRs and cracked one. We cracked champagne, and I took like half a PBR, and I was like, I'm done. Like I need to go to bed.
How long are you messed up for? How many hours are you awake for?
There's stories of me like looking at my hands and stuff like that and freaking out. But the next day we tried to get together and just get some beers and stuff. And I remember Toshi was passed out in the second floor of the City Tavern. Like I remember opening the door, checking on him, just on the toilet sleeping. Dude, I don't know if it's the American beer or the tiredness.
Here it is, right here. I was like, you know what? Might as well look it up while I'm here. Yep, 31-year-old gym teacher from Ballston Spa.
Classic.
Founded Half Moon's hometown dodgeball league in 2005. Has been a regular player. Yep. And Castleton State College in Vermont based their time by 10 full hours, or bested their time, 10 full hours. Originally, you guys had 31 hours. 41 hours, 3 minutes and 17 seconds. And in response, Immel, that's you.
That's me.
And a group totaling 18 players set out to reclaim their record by playing 43 hours in a row because you guys are fucking savages.
Nobody's touching that.
No one's touching that.
Yes,
but there's like talk, right?
And this record has stood since 2013.
That's like Cal Ripken status, man.
But there's talk like, oh, we're gonna do it. Go ahead, just
try.
Because guess what? If you do it, awesome. And I'll never touch it again. But I probably will do it again.
You will. Like if they go 40, like what is it? 43 hours and what?
Just flat.
Oh, it's 43 hours flat. They'll go 43 hours in 1 minute, and then you'll be like, "Fuck you, I'm doing it."
There was talk of going 45. That's
a long time, dude.
There's talk of going 49.
Should have went 69.
Yeah. Everybody wins.
Is that okay? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that's allowed.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a number, bro. Come on, that's allowed. But no, that's wild, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's one of those things too. It's kind of like, finding the pro tryout in 05. It's like just doing it. Just get on there and doing it. And just I don't know why I had the motivation to do it. There's a lot of people that don't. There's people now that message me, like I said, every day. When's dodgeball? And I'll respond almost like frustrated. You tell me. You know what? I've set it up forever. The old Charbonneau Recreation I had in 04. I was doing, I was renting field space. I was paying referees.
Like this whole thing, right? For like around this area, like like you found like the hometown dodgeball league in like 2005 that like you started it.
Yep, 2004 we're at Charbonneau, which is now Aframs, which was Tree Pad. It's just like I just someone else do it. Like there's a couple interviews I've done where it's like, how long are you gonna play? I don't know. But like I hope there's a time where I don't make Team USA. Yeah. I want dodgeball to be, where the level's so high that I don't make it.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go play mixed or I'll go coach, like whatever.
Speaking of like you talking about that, like I saw like there was this thing, I forget where I saw it. It was obviously on social media because that's where you see everything. But like it was like, what are like some of the most outrageous things in sports that you could see? And one of the things was talking about like having an average person in every event at the Olympics compete so you can see how hard it is. Like have one average person in every single event.
Yeah, that'll make you appreciate the work
like
somebody put
just
in.
to see
Instantly.
how hard it is for those Olympic athletes, because let's be honest, like I watched The Way to Gold, right? That's on HBO, and like sitting there listening to what's the track, there's a track girl that played that for USA, I forget her name, but she literally was making smoothies at a commercial gym And at the same time, on the TV behind her, was her running in the Olympics.
That's wild.
And somebody was like, looked at her, looked at the screen, looked back at her, and was like, "That's you." She's like, "Yeah, that's me." And she had to work there because she wasn't making enough money from the Olympics.
See, that's crazy.
Like-
we talk about going, and dodgeball in Germany. I played for this team, Outcasts, international team. Played with guys from Scotland, Ireland, Singapore, England. 3 of us were American. And he said, when you're in the town, and this dodgeball tournament was a small northeastern town called Stadlone. He's like, wear your Outcast stuff, wear your Outcast jersey, wear your Outcast sweatshirt. And I was like, oh, okay, like why?
It's a great band.
But also yes. But I didn't get it. He's like, no, you'll be treated like celebrities. I was like, okay. Like you wear a dodgeball shirt here, and it's like, oh, the movie?
Right.
Like, have you seen the movie? Can you dodge your
I mean,
wrench?
it's a great movie.
And then I punch him in the fucking mouth, and I step over him and continue on my day. But literally, we're in the grocery store, and people were coming up taking pictures, like appreciating this dodgeball. I mean, there's 10,000 people go to this tournament to watch. It's a party afterwards, but there's 183 teams in this international tournament, so it's huge. I didn't understand it. I'm like, what the what's missing? Well, they don't have the New York Jets. Well, okay, any NFL team. They don't have traditional sports
why
that
was
we're
that the team you brought up?
we walk through town and we see labels and logos and professional sport teams that are appreciated, but Germany doesn't have that, or other countries don't have that. So appreciate sports and athletics. Like, I'm talking utmost appreciation. Like, they were fighting for us to stay in their houses, like arguing. Like, our team had to split up and go to different houses to appease, like,
What are you guys,
certain
a summer
people.
baseball team that's got to like split up to like
Right.
have a hosting family?
Yeah, that's
Like,
literally
the
what it
fuck?
was. Like, we'd wake up in the morning and be like, open the door, they'd be standing there like, coffee? Like,
They make you play dodgeball with your kids or no?
let me take a shit first, and we'll talk about it.
That's wild though to think about. And I guess when you think about it though, and you think about like soccer, like overseas, and how crazy.
But that's it. That's it.
How crazy they are. It's because they like outside of soccer. What do they have? Like, we have everything. We got NHL, we got NBA, we got NFL. Like,
Every day.
every day. And obviously, like when you think about it, like NFL is obviously like, the biggest thing. And
It's year-round.
you'll see people, no matter if football's going on or not, talking about football. But like, it's crazy to think about, like, you go to overseas and like how different it is. Like,
But why isn't that track girl that, and not poking fun of you don't even know her name.
right.
Why isn't she highlighted? Why don't we know her name?
Exactly. I mean,
When we should.
It's just, honestly, it is not just not coming to me. She is actually a big track star. It's just not coming to me right
but
now.
that shows it.
This Cutwater might have hit me a little
Well,
too hard.
that's a fine
You know?
example.
So, but yeah, that's a great example. Like, when you think about it, and like, Michael Phelps was on that, and he was talking about how like the only reason that he made money was because he was fucking good, because he was the best of the best, and he
Right.
got sponsorships.
People love Olympics every other year, whether it's winter or summer. Like,
Right. They love it, but
but that's it.
yeah,
Why don't we appreciate that all year round?
like, I wish I could think of her name right now. It's really pissing me off.
I love that's pissing you off.
It's really pissing me off.
You've been
right
through a
now.
lot of destruction.
Destruction.
It's been a long day, all right? So, but yeah, like, it's crazy to think about, like, the difference, like, when you think about, like, just even something that's, like, dodgeball. Like, you go overseas and you're fucking royalty. Like, over there.
It's crazy. And now we talk about, again, we spoke about youth sports and concentrating on one sport. What if you tried different sports?
Right.
Would dodgeball not be thought of as just a movie thing? I mean, that movie was from 2004. These kids
Great.
weren't even born.
Great fucking movie, though.
Great movie. Okay. I hate it. I love it. Like,
Well, I can understand, but it is funny.
but what if these kids were like, hey, let me just try dodgeball?
Yeah.
Bang. And now we have youth dodgeball leagues. Now, would it become a traditional sport? Would it become an interscholastic sport? But no, we're stuck
Right.
in these things.
Well,
Why
there's-
don't we know the track girl's name? Right? Like, why don't we know bobsledders? Like,
Yeah.
these
When I think of
these athletes
bobsledding, I
are.
think of Cool Runnings.
I think of Herschel Walker.
Of bobsledding?
Yeah.
Oh. See, I wouldn't even thought of that. I would have thought I think Cool Runnings in Jamaica.
No, but you should. But it comes down to where the money's at. It's like the money's from
availability and money.
it's what's on the television. That's where the money's at, and that's what you consume on
Right.
your
And
phone.
it's scary to think that if Ivy League only for 2 years went full scholarship Division I dodgeball, what would happen? Right, that throwing tunnel would become Rubber Ball Palace.
right.
the money would
I'd
be
be
there.
all for it. I'd be in there.
Right.
I'd be in there, fucking kids up.
And then you have showcases where you're getting velo and you're getting that. It
would turn into what baseball is.
It would turn into what other sports are. It's just the beast that.
But why
that
not?
we're in.
Like, why not? Like, I mean, other sports have all of this showcases and like everything else. Like why not? And like, you know, even like when I think about like, I feel like baseball is like such the, I don't know. Baseball's great, but like I feel like that's the one I think about that is so like pushed on to kids. Like it's like when you think about like football,
and it's the
football's
hardest
fall
one too.
like football's fall only.
Right, you play it once a week.
You play it once a week. You have your practice, but like football is literally fall only. After that, like it's hard to play football year round unless you're in fucking Texas,
and you don't.
and you don't. They don't. Like all those people play multiple sports, and it's like. But like then you think about baseball. Like baseball is easily played year round because now all these indoor facilities and things like that. And then again, like you talk about, like the pressure that's put on these kids to like, you know, go do fall ball, go do spring ball, go do summer ball, go do school ball, club. Like it's like how many teams do you play for? Like at what point is it like too much? Like the only thing I can think of with football that you get is like there's flag football leagues for youth.
Right.
Like that's the only thing I can think of, but. It's different.
It's I don't know.
So
It's
much
tough.
different.
I'm sitting here on the other side as a dad.
Yeah.
right?
Are you scared? Are you scared? As a dad, your kids are kind of older, but if you were to have kids now, are you scared?
No, but I kind of not empathize, but I kind of see, you know, because my kid's good. My kid's good at sports, and he gets offered to do certain things. So I kind of feel as a dad like, holy shit, like. Should he go play that tournament Monday?
Remember that one
Like-
time last year we had that conversation outside? I'm
Yeah,
trying
and
to think-
you sold me on not do like you said some good shit. Like
what was the situation? I'm trying to recall. I
So
know.
this is last summer. We're in a pandemic still, and my son got offered to play at MetLife Stadium lacrosse.
How old was he then?
10. So he got offered to play and like against 12-year-olds, which he'll probably get fucking knocked out. Like. But he got offered to play, and I was like, "Wow! Like this is an opportunity. This is a great example. This is an opportunity for him to go. Like how can I deny this opportunity? We're a Jet family to play at Jet Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
The game
I'm sorry
that he
that
loves.
you're a Jet family.
Well, that's another story. But like this is great. So yeah, the guy calls me in the middle of workout outside in my 6-foot space, outdoor workouts only. And Mike's like, "What's up?" And he's like. He's good enough. He's going to have tons of these opportunities. And I was like, you know what? You're fucking right.
Yeah.
Like this is a smart thing to do. This is like the time where like you didn't see your grandmother, your aunt, and like you're going to go play lacrosse with kids from Long Island against kids from New Jersey. Like, but like all that common sense jumped out of my head because like like sports like this. How can I deny this opportunity for him?
You were also thinking and trying to think in the best interest of your kid, though, at the same time.
But
like,
was I?
But were you too?
I'm going to drive down 3
Like-
hours to put
like
him
there's
in the
there's
middle
like
of
there's
what?
like the twofold with it. Like okay, like this is what I think is going to be great for him, and then you have to like think of the other aspect of it.
So we
too.
have. So I can see that side of parents. So
Right.
maybe like the world needs a little bit of parent education.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
my gosh.
Like, hey, this is what's going on. But what you bring it back, Mike. You bring it back with the whole dollar thing. Like coaches will always have showcases, and they'll get younger and younger. Like this showcase and this position specific showcase.
But I see
Write
it
the
on
check
Instagram
and
all
show
the
up.
time.
Like that's never going to go away. So I don't know what the answer is, but like it's tough because even me, like I think I'm a pretty even keeled guy, and I know what's going on. I understand my kids love sports and he's talented, whatever. But I can see myself and feel myself kind of saying, "Oh, he should do this tournament." Like there's a tournament Monday in Poughkeepsie. It's gonna fucking snow. It's gonna be -20. He just did a similar one, and I was like, "Nah, he's not gonna do it."
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm going, "Oh fuck!" Like I can't tell him that he's not gonna go. Like I didn't even tell him about it. But am I denying him that?
Right, and I think like for you as a parent, it's just a matter of like, okay, like you're not denying him from it. You're trying to make it easier for him to not have to make that decision. Like you're trying to help him out by like, okay, you don't need this pressure on you. You don't need to go to this fucking tournament that means nothing.
Right.
Like, what's the point of you going to this? To
That's
freeze
like
your fucking
you.
ass
You
off?
know, like, hey, should he get in here and start training? He's playing sports all year round. Like, let him play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him play.
Like
That's it. He'll get way more benefit out of that, and when the time's right, come in, and he's going to be at a way better spot than his peers who are just playing one sport.
Because how old's he?
He's 11.
He's 11. Like,
Right. I know.
just
That's
tell him to
man.
go home and do some fucking body weight squats and some fucking push-ups.
When I
He'll be
was
fine.
11,
I told him to fucking yoga. Stretch out.
That works too. He probably fucking needs that. I could have used that when I was younger.
Exactly.
But just
Shit.
think
Let me
to-
loosen up these hips.
think to when you were 11. You're playing in the backyard. That's
Right.
what that's
the
what
shit out
it
of a
is,
wiffle
man.
ball.
But I don't know. It scares me. Like, I just moved up here and have kids one day.
Congrats.
Appreciate it. But no, it's just scary to kind of being involved
Well,
in.
I guess it's a testament that you care, right?
Right.
Like if you're worried, if you're scared, it means that you care,
Right.
Which is a good thing because honestly, parents, I don't think care a lot. They care more about themselves
Right.
and what they can prove their kids can
Right.
do.
Yeah.
It's like before your kids start sports, you can't, but like parents should go to fucking therapy before they send their kids to sports.
We could literally just probably hold a fucking seminar here for parents.
Yeah, but who's gonna listen?
Nobody's gonna listen. That's the thing.
If you
That's the problem.
charge $400 a parent,
They'll
they'll come.
listen.
Yeah,
Right.
hey,
And they'll
listen,
listen.
that's a quick come up for us. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
but
this is true.
like that's one thing I do love about being here and being in this space. And like I was forced out of New York City because of COVID. So like coming up here and then like Mike offering me the job was a blessing in disguise, and like it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. And it like the impact that I get to have on these kids' lives, like I think about some of the kids that have already gone to school, and like how they still reach out to me and will message me random shit. They'll send me fucking memes or whatever,
Sure.
or they'll send me a message and ask a question about something that's life related. Like
That's the real
that-
stuff.
and
right?
that's where like for me, I'm like I never want to be somebody that like shuns that out. Like it's like you're coming to me because like I made an impact on your life, and like I know like obviously like for us like we're not going to be able to affect necessarily globally, but like if I can affect people around here and like get them to switch their mentality on like sports and all of the stuff that they're putting pressure on their kids for. Like the one thing that I always appreciated about my mom was like she always pushed me hard to like be the best I could be at sports. She always told me to have a backup plan, but she never told me I couldn't achieve what I wanted to.
Right.
Never sat there and said like you can't, if you want to be a professional athlete and that's what you want to do, go for it. But like always have a backup plan, but like if you want to do it, go for it.
Go.
And I think for me, like I had the opportunity to play college football. I decided I didn't want to do it. I knew too many people that ended up hating football. Don't even watch it to this day because of their experience their freshman year that were older than me. And I decided like that wasn't what I wanted. I play flag football to this day. Granted, I tore my Achilles playing it, but I plan on going back to playing it. Like I still have that passion and love to want to play that sport. Like I will play football as long as I possibly
and that
can.
may not have been there if you played in college.
Like if I had played in college, I may be sitting here like, yeah, I may be working out and stuff, but like when I work out now, like I work out because I want to play football. And yeah, it's fucking flag football, but I don't give a shit. Like like you talk about dodgeball, it's the same thing.
You're doing your thing. Yeah.
Like it's fucking. You go watch a flag football game. That you come to Abrams and watch one of those
I've
flag
seen
football
Abrams,
games.
yeah.
That shit is real. That shit ain't no joke. Like you're out there playing against like legitimate athletes. Like there's guys that have played arena football, semi-pro football. Like you're playing against legit guys, and like that's the thing I think for a lot of these kids is like, after you're. Who said? Somebody in here said it one time. They said NARP, non-athletic regular person. Like when you graduate and finish college or high school or whatever.
Yeah, I remember. They said.
And
hey.
they're like, I'm a NARP now. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, a
I've never heard
non-athletic
that.
regular person. I'm like, well, that's a fucking problem.
Right.
I'm like, because I'm a fucking regular person.
If
but I
someone
wouldn't
calls me a NARP, we're throwing down.
Throwing down. It's destruction. We're going.
I'm destructing your face. like,
Destruction.
like,
Well, I
let's be
think
honest.
what you said comes with maturity. I think
It definitely.
what you said was a gift, getting a message from somebody you worked with previously.
Right.
Like that shows a lot of maturity. I think that globally, if you think that when you day to day you train kids and then your reward might be 4 or 5 years later, that's huge. Even as a teacher, the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll see kids in a bar or restaurant come up and be like, "Coach, like I should have listened to you,"
Yeah.
or like, "Thank you." Like I thought you were a dick, or you're the only reason I graduated. You made up those classes
That's
for me.
awesome,
Like
dude.
I realize now, like it happens pretty frequently. Like I get it now. So I think it took that to say like, all right, I'll just keep my track, stay my way, do my thing, and then later on, they'll see it.
Yeah.
If they don't see it immediately, But if you get those rewards every few years or whatever, that message or that
Right.
meme, that's pretty cool.
And that's like for me, like when I'm in here, like I use my own experience with deciding to not play college sports and doing intramurals, and I did club baseball for a year, and a bunch of different, like I found different avenues to be able to still compete in sports, and I still play now. I play in a flag football league, like, and you know, if you're the top flag football team, guess what you get to do? You get to go play a team in Long Island at MetLife.
Pretty awesome.
That's pretty fucking cool. Like, not gonna lie. So, and you know, that also relates, like I can relate that right back to, you know, playing college sports, whether you're playing Division III, Division II, Division I. Cortland is playing at fucking MetLife.
Yeah.
They played at MetLife. Oh no, they played at Yankee
They're
Stadium.
going to Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium this year.
Cool.
I bought tickets. I don't know if you did. I went. My bunch of my buddies were like, we should get tickets. I was like, all right, you know, say less. Purchase. But like they played at MetLife once, and they're playing at Yankee Stadium.
It's pretty awesome.
How many Division I schools have played at MetLife or Yankee Stadium?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't happen often. So it's like you get different benefits from going to a Division III school or Division I school or Division II school. Like it's different, like what you're gonna get. And for me, like being able to use my own experience to be able to help the kids is like the ultimate thing for me. Like I never became a professional athlete. I still could. Who knows? Like I'm only
Right.
31. Like,
Well, you might be part of a team that wins a ring.
But
exactly.
I
I
think-
was, and I got a plaque. I got a fucking trophy. Like we won the flag football championship. Do I care that I was only in Albany? No, I fucking won it. Okay, I won the goddamn championship.
But I think that's important because you'll see marketed a lot in our field. Is like I was a D1 athlete, so I can help you be a D1 athlete. But like life is way more than that. Like you
Yeah.
need a lot more depth as a person than just that to be able to help and guide a kid. Because for most sports, it's gonna be over one day.
Right.
And what do you have left to fall back on?
Like what? 88% of kids after high school don't play team sports.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I would like to know how many go into college playing sports and then stop playing sports like
Right.
that.
I mean, you're a prime example of that too. Like you went in there, you played baseball,
Yeah,
and
I bet.
it was one of those things where you were like, "This isn't for me," and
I got burnt out.
yeah,
Wow,
shit happens.
This isn't fun anymore.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, if sports become not fun for you, like, why are you doing it? Like that. And honestly, like a lot of it has to. Like, I mean, life in general. Like, if you don't enjoy it, like, why do it? But obviously, if you're, you know, making money off of it, that's a different thing. But like in the grand scheme of things, when you're, you know, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th through high school, even in college, if it doesn't bring joy to you, or you don't, or you're not having fun doing it, what is the point?
Right. And guess what's more dissolving? The fact that you spent the last 5 years doing this and now you're done.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what do you have?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now you're reaching out to other things, which can be very negative, right?
Mhm.
To fill a void or a gap. Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, like how sports and even teaching and everything has just over the course of the last 20 years, and then with COVID and social media, how it's all changed. And like,
Well, what's crazy is the power of athletics.
yeah,
You know,
Like-
again, it comes back to what Mike said, the money, right? Money is power. But it's crazy what power holds and everything else. You're talking futures and holding potential futures over kids and,
Yeah.
and families.
Right.
It's unfair.
And
it's
with-
weird.
And with like the top tier athletes, like that's where like the NIL I think is going to be super beneficial, is because now these kids don't have to go to the, you know, when I think of like college football, for example, like, you know, you don't have to go to Alabama. You can go to, you know, Jackson State and go play with Deion Sanders.
Right.
Because you're going to make money off of your own name now.
Yep.
Right.
Like you don't have to go to Alabama and have a booster pay you money that's illegal,
Right.
like for you to get. And now you can go to whatever school you want to if it's, and again, this is only
I don't
Division
know
I
why I'm not a Barstool athlete.
I mean, you should be a Barstool athlete.
You could probably submit Portnoy. Just
Honestly, I think Portnoy would definitely support. If he saw what you do with dodgeball, you're a world record holder, and the amount of beer you consume, I
Just
think
give
he
me
would
some
be
Pink
okay.
Whitney. I'll be good.
Well, that
Yeah.
first time, I think they took everybody because it was in the summer with all the college kids. Hey, Mike, I'm a Barstool athlete. I'm a Barstool athlete.
Yeah, every
They
kid.
fucking know
Put it on
anybody.
the wall.
Yeah, every kid was a Barstool athlete. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, Portnoy loves you. But yeah, it's just like it's crazy to think about, like, you know, when you think of, you know, Division I, because obviously the NIL only applies to that, but like lower Division I levels, like you could go to that, be on the team and actually play, and make a lot of fucking money because
it?
you can
Right.
you can make money off your name.
Does it only apply to D1? I don't think it only applies to
NIL doesn't. I know it doesn't apply to Division III,
Right,
but I'm pretty sure it's only Division I where you can make money off of your likeness.
right,
Like I don't think you can do it at Division III or Division II.
right.
But
So-
why not go D3 for a year
Yeah.
Then go get paid, transfer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. D3, community college. Like, there's so many different options that you can go to, and I think that's the biggest thing in youth sports is like, yes, you may want to go to Division I right out of school, but the amount of guys that have gone JUCO. I mean, we have kids in
And
here.
that's the story you want, the fighter, the
Yeah.
grinder,
Yeah.
right? Hey,
The person
I
that-
couldn't get there, but I got the Rudy.
Yeah,
Right?
the
Like-
person that went into JUCO throwing 80 miles an hour and now gets a Division I contract because he's throwing 95.
Right.
Like,
Because he or she worked.
because they
Right.
worked hard and like they may have been a late bloomer, whatever it is. Like, and that's the thing that I think so many kids miss is like, yeah, Division I is great, but are you playing? Are you getting better? Are you enjoying
Yeah,
it?
but mom's got that sticker on the back of the Audi.
Yeah, Mom.
Fucking A7 with that
Yeah.
fucking UAlbany sticker.
Listen, she's got a Benz. Let's be real. She ain't got an Audi.
A7 Q. What size is it? Q7. Fucking Q7. Yeah, man. But that's real.
It's a tough time to be in and everything like that, especially as a teacher. Like like I'll be honest, like I said before, like selfishly, I got out of the teaching degree. One, because I didn't want to be pigeonholed. Like that was my thing. Like I wanted to have different opportunities to be able to do stuff. So switching to the exercise science field, like I had so many opportunities, whether it was go in the direction that I am in now, which is basically phys ed on like a different level, or I could have went to law school, become a sport agent, which was something I thought about. Sports psychologist again. I apply that here every single day. Like there's so many things that I think about back on school like that I thought about going down and I still use to this day.
Sure.
And it's great to think about that, like the things that I'm still passionate about. Like I was passionate about, like now it's fucking 10 years because it's 2022 and I graduated in 2012 from Cortland. I hate my life. It's pretty simple math. I really hope we both went to Cortland. I hope
I
you
still
can
feel
figure
like
that
it's 2005, right?
yeah. Oh, well, listen,
So-
I feel like it's 2019 still. Okay, so like that's a whole different story. But yeah, it's just it's really cool to like think about like all the stuff that like when I was in college that like different avenues I thought about going down and how I get to apply a lot of those with my job here.
What's PE like in 10 years? Can't be the same.
No, it can't be the same. I almost think that.
You know what I-
thankfully,
Better or
in New
worse?
York State, it's mandated, right? You have to
Right.
pass 4 years of PE, but what that looks like as far as a district,
You know what I don't want it to be? Some kid in his fucking living room with a, what's it called? That's
Oculus.
With an Oculus around his
Face
eyes.
planting
I
on the
think
floor?
that's an option. I think
That scares
you'd
me.
be surprised right now the loopholes and things that are in schools. You know, like count your steps. We're gonna count your steps you walk each day to pass a class. It's fucked up.
I can remember multiple times during like the COVID, like height of COVID, when you were in here and you literally be recording a video of yourself like working out in here, like trying to get those kids to come in here because like
Right.
this is where they're going to learn something.
Right.
Actually
Community
learn something.
resources come in here.
You know?
But in 10 years, I hope it's crazy to think about because 10 years ago I would never say this, but I hope it goes back to old school.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna do this.
Can
like,
it though?
We're switching next year to right now at the school I work at. We're single gender. We're 9th to 10th grade boys, 9th to 10th grade
Which
girls.
is nuts. That's fucking
wild.
crazy. How can you do that?
So now next year is going to be
That's
co-ed. So, but what's that going to look like? Are the girls that really go hard and play? I watched a floor hockey game today of 11th, 12th grade girls. That was awesome. It was fucking.
you want to see
I had
it-
so much fun. They're getting after it. It was next to 11th and 12th grade boys dodgeball lesson, right? And what I heard and saw from the males was wild, and not a classroom.
Right.
What I saw and I heard from the girls was phenomenal. Those kids being active, learning a team game, playing well together, right? Getting after it. It was fun. To merge those two next year is going to be tough,
Right.
Because the kids that go hard, the males that go hard, aren't gonna. The girls that go hard aren't gonna.
You think
They're
that's going to happen?
Yeah.
But see, that's part
It's
of
going to take a different. It's going to take a different touch. It's going to take a different feel. It's going
Right.
to take a different delivery, and
Right.
it can work.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, honestly, the way I feel right now, I feel like I can be a rec director, and just say, "Hey, we're doing ultimate frisbee. The frisbees are out there. Go ahead and explore the space."
do you think-
And I think administration won't get an email. They won't get a fucking complaint from parents,
Right.
and they'll be all good. Me, I'll die inside.
Yeah. Like if you had asked me 10 years ago when I was at Cortland, 12 years ago when I was still doing phys ed, I would have thought the complete opposite, the way that Cortland teaches phys ed.
Right, yeah,
And,
no
and you
doubt.
went there, so you know that. Like Cortland teaches phys ed like they would teach somebody to teach social studies.
Right.
Like, lesson plan,
As it should be.
Like as it should be. But like if you had asked me 10 years ago where phys ed was going, I would have thought because of Cortland, that it would be in a more positive direction. And like, just from my experience here and just over the last, social media, everything that I've experienced in life, like,
yeah, you hear from different districts, different kids, and different things. And everybody's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, kids are kids.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the first time ever I thought about doing something different was a couple months ago.
Right.
So that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But if I had my way, I'd go back. I'd go backwards, which sounds weird, right? You'd never say it in your profession. We want to go back a decade.
Yeah, but sometimes there's qualities that are nice. Like, there is so much technology you can use, and we have some in here. But just like good old fashioned working hard and moving some weights, like,
right.
It's good.
And who knows what the kid's going to be? And that's what it is. It's the product as teachers, the product we're using and developing is the kid.
Right.
So maybe we might get back to that workhorse. We might not hear the word try hard in a derogatory term.
Right.
Like, I hear the word try hard. Fuck yeah. Who? You? Try hard? Let's go. Bonus point.
Yeah.
Like, that's a positive for me.
Yeah.
We were actually trying hard. That's a good thing, right? Like, a try hard as a derogatory term, it seems so backwards.
Or the gym class hero, like we used to, like that like, seemed like it was like a negative thing, but like I always tried hard.
Be better than me.
Yeah. Like,
be better than me.
Like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's gym class. Like, I want to fucking dominate. Like, I want to destruct your feelings and make you feel terrible about yourself. Like, it's like I don't know. I was always a gym class person. Like, I would skip other classes to go to gym. I'd leave study hall to go to gym.
Right. And now, I mean, kids now want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a lot different beast to tackle now for.
But
especially.
things change, right? Ebbs and flows.
They do.
Yeah.
I think everything, it all bounces. It's going to
Cyclical.
swing this direction, it's going to swing that direction.
Right.
It comes back to the middle.
Right.
Being a teacher in general, I couldn't imagine.
All I can say is the amount of times I've had a kid come up here and be like, yo, you know what a DAP is? I'm like, bro, that's like 1995.
It goes back to the jerk.
Like, come on. Like, things are cyclical. So hopefully, maybe there'll be a turn at whether or not like technology and social media changes that for us. But like,
I think what we talked about, we got to stay strong and deliver what we can deliver, right? However grassroots and how minuscule it may be.
Right.
That positive influence and direction and conversation, if it goes to, a kid in here who goes home at dinner time and says it to their parents and says, oh, maybe they're right, or maybe I'm fucking up, or maybe I should step back or reach out for something.
Well, and I know with Mike, like both of us, and even Dan and Connor, we all try to make the kids not view us like they view their coach or their teacher or their parent. Like, I make it a deliberate effort, and I know we all of us do, to have them not call us coach, because it's like, I don't want you to view me in that light. Like, I want you to view me as like somebody that you can come to and talk to about whatever's going on in your life. Like, so that way I can sit here and be like, okay, how can I help you get through this, whatever it is, whether it's me, Mike, even Sam up here, Dan, Connor, anybody in here, or another kid that might have gone through it that I know of, that I could see that sit there and be like, hey, can you come talk to this person for me? Like, they just, they're going through something similar that you went through, and like, I know like you could help them through it. Like, it's like, how can that translate over and we can make that bigger? But that's the biggest thing when it comes to here, that like I feel like I get a huge benefit out of for myself personally, that also benefits like the kids and whatnot.
That's what it comes down to. It's just like having empathy for these kids, but then finding the balance to also tell them, hey, what you're thinking right now is bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
and you're building that here. I mean, to me, again, I don't know what year it is, but
Yeah.
it feels like you're just here
I'm
for
still
a day.
30.
But you're
I'm
here
still
for 4
29,
years. So
so
like
like,
you're not only growing your clientele, but you're putting good kids and good athletes back into systems, right? Not like a hub, all different, all over the capital region. You're putting kids with that mentality. They might hear a good conversation or learn something, and then be a positive influence in their small hub.
It's a good way to think of it. And like, I think that was part of the strategic plan of opening here, is not saying, okay, we're just going to have a high school boys hour, or just a baseball hour, or just an adult hour.
But guess what? If you went that way, you'd make a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would, but I think you're doing
But that's not what you want to be,
No.
right? That's not the spine of your book.
Right.
Like, what you're doing is right. But what we're talking about, if you just did a baseball or whatever, you'd be swimming in it.
Right.
Yep.
But maybe 3-4 years.
Right. I think you need to service to
And
kids.
right.
Kids development. I want you to talk to
How
all
would you
different
feel
types
about
of
yourself
people.
too after that?
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing, is like, it's not just like how you're affecting the kids, but how do you feel about yourself?
Right. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a business owner, and Like at the end of the day, it comes down to profit to pay people and live my life. But it's just like, what way are you going about that? And like, how much are you willing to sacrifice of your values and your morals to make a fucking dollar off a kid and the family? Right. It's just, I'm not.
I mean, I just remember when we put
It shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we did this whole expansion and we put the net up, like the biggest thing we talked about was how can we make this not feel like a baseball gym? Like, how can we make this feel like, you got 8 lacrosse girls in here and 1 guy fucking pitching. How do we make this not feel like a baseball
who also
gym?
say that, right? You make an addition, tens of thousands of dollars, I'm putting this cage for baseball. But our first meeting after was, okay, how do we not make this a baseball gym? It seems ass backwards, but that's the plan.
Shows that you care.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because we would like to turn that cage into more than just baseball. Like, like we want to help all athletes. And
I saw a lacrosse stick in there before.
Listen, you had Talon was in there.
Listen, we'll get some fucking dodgeball in there if we need to.
I can't wait.
I won't stand there while you throw it, but I'll throw it at you.
Yeah, man.
Like, so it's just like, it's crazy to think about, like, how things have just changed in the last 5 years, let alone 10, 20, whatever. Like, it's crazy to think about. Like, I just think about 5 years ago, how big was, like, Instagram? Like, I mean, it was big. How big was TikTok? Wasn't even a fucking thing. Yeah. Like, Instagram started to kind of take off when we were in college, Mike.
Yeah. You want to move the gym to the metaverse? Is that what you're saying?
The metaverse?
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking not.
Is that what you're saying?
If I could
Your logo is way better.
If I could abolish the metaverse, I would.
Destruction of the metaverse.
Destruction.
Oh,
Like, fuck,
shit,
dude.
Man. No, fuck that. See, like, you say, like, I could not imagine P going there with the fucking Oculus and fucking exercising.
Listen, all I
in your
see
living room.
is people falling on their face on the Oculus. That's all I see.
But
our industry's in the same boat.
yeah, you're so right.
In the same boat, man.
I'll just put myself there and get
Right.
it done. Hop on a Peloton, right?
Right.
That's what the Peloton is a gym.
Yeah.
It's a gym.
Yeah, which all that stuff is great, right? It's accountability, it's community, it's tracking your data, it's there. But at the end of the day, don't we all just want to be with other people?
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, there's no reason why I can't take the almost 500 workouts I've done here
Right.
and done it at my lunch break in my weight room at school.
Right. But isn't it nice to be with other people?
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I've worked out maybe 20 times in 11 years in a high school gym.
Right.
Right? Like, just, it's not worth it for me.
That's less than 2 times a year for you math people.
Yeah, I didn't do that fast.
Sokotoa.
just putting that math skills to use, But yeah, like I get what you're saying. Like, when I was going through my rehab, like, doing workouts at home was tough. But again, I couldn't do anything else. So why not do my
We have to
workouts?
walk.
Yeah, I couldn't walk at the time, but I figured out things to do, and it's like, it's not easy though. Like, and I thoroughly enjoy having, like you said, like the community around you. Like when we're sitting here working out at 12 to 2, and you got me, you, Dan, and the whole brunch crew in here. Like, that's the best time, like, to work out for me. Like, it's like, dude, I got all these guys in here, like, whether they're college or high school, like, girls, doesn't matter. Like, you feed off the energy.
That's why I have no fear about wherever on the technology side, like, this industry's heading, and you shouldn't either. I guess it's harder with school because, like, you're told what to do, and this is how you're going to do it, this is how you can do it, I suppose. But, like, people are always going to want to be with other people.
Right, and you might lose a certain percentage,
Sure.
but you might gain a certain percentage that wants to get away from technology.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That's business and how it is, man. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just like fucking work
Well, we
hard.
were made to be near people, right? We're
yeah.
grouping
Yeah, we're tribal,
species.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's not very many species out there that aren't, like, they don't go in groups or
Just
flocks
narps.
or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
Just narps.
A bunch of fucking narps. That's all we are. The 3 of us, bunch of narps over here.
Yeah,
Non-athletic, regular people.
What a term.
ugh.
God, the first time I heard that, I was like, "What? What did you just call yourself?" I was like, "Is that a real term?" They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, welcome to 2021." And now we're in 2022, apparently. So
Not according to every date I've written.
nope.
Oh shit.
Every time.
What did you
We're
write?
still there.
2019, 2005. That's right. Shit.
Shit, man. Yeah, that's where we're at. But no, Rob, appreciate you coming in. I mean, this is our first one. And,
Yeah.
Obviously happy to be here and maybe another one.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But no, man, appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll pick back up next time. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.